Coffee Break with me. Woo! Hi guys! Welcome back to my channel. So the holidays are around the corner and I was like, you know what, Dani? You have not done any tutorials, and if anyone loves to play with color, it's this one. We've already discussed that I'm part unicorn, part clown, part happiness over anything colorful. So what I decided to do is I just received the BH Cosmetics, like I literally just received the BH Cosmetics Dark Rose palette. They sent this to me to try out, and honestly I've never tried any BH products, so I couldn't say, oh, you know, I love BH products, I use them all the time. I can't. This is the first product that I try, and I'll kind of say I'm really happy with it. So this is their newest palette, and it's you know, I'm always honest with my pandas. So when I opened the palette, I had a mix of emotions because I was like, oh my God, it's so colorful. And then at the same time, I was like, what am I gonna do with those colors? Because you look at it and you're like, well, how do I combine these colors? There's like hot pinks and radiant orchids and purple and then gold and an emerald. And you're like, what am I gonna do with these colors? Once I got started, I could not put the palette down. I was like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. Like, I want to put more colors. Like, the colors really work well together. I was very impressed. So this palette is their newest palette to come out. It has 12 eyeshadows and 3 blushes, and it also has a liquid liner. The liquid liner is pretty cool. It's a felt tip liquid liner, so it kind of has like a little chubby tip, so it's not very flexible. You really have to draw the design that you want to achieve. You don't push down on the tip because it's not one of those long, you know, flexible calligraphy type tips, but it's the one I'm wearing today and I really liked it. First impression, it worked really well on me. Now, with the palette, it does have 12 eyeshadow shades that are super pigmented. They're very creamy. They're very easy to use. I was surprised. A lot of times you hear about more affordable palettes needing to be built up, and I really didn't have trouble with the pigmentation of these colors, so I really liked it. And then it also has 3 blush shades. I'm wearing this peachy, it's like a peachy shimmer one right here. That's the one I'm wearing today. And I really wanted to wear something that wouldn't take away from the eye look. But surprisingly, this pink in the middle, it's super, super pigmented. It kind of reminds me of one of the NARS ones, but I can't remember the name. It really reminds me of that one. It's a beautiful blush, but I actually used it as my transition shade up here in the crease. That pink that you see, it's actually this blush shade. And then another secret, I actually found a really beautiful highlight shade in this palette. There's this almost like a champagne, really pale pearly color here, and that's what I'm wearing as a highlight. And you guys know how I feel about my highlighter. I'm wearing it on the tops of my cheekbones, on the tip of my nose, my chin, and you can see how beautiful it looks. It just kind of looks like really nice lights are hitting my face. You know what I mean? Like I'm on stage just kind of showing off. So I guess first impression on this palette, since this is the first look that I create with it, it's very pigmented. It's very versatile because it has so many different colors. It also has different finishes. There's shimmers and mattes in this palette, so it will create kind of a variety of looks. It has really classic neutrals like this champagne and this chocolate brown. I mean, this is really something that's very fun and really gets your creative juices flowing. It also has warm tones and cool tones, so it's a palette that will play nicely with all of us. I'm going to list a link in the description box below in case you guys are interested in checking out this palette. It's going to be the first link right there in the description box, but if you want to see how I got this look, then please keep watching. Welcome to my face. So I already did one eye like usual, so you guys can have a step-by-step guide of, you know, what's coming next. And then I also already primed this eye with my favorite eye primer. This is Max Paint Pot in Soft Ochre. Now what we're going to do is mix it up a little. And I'm going to take my fluffy blending brush. This is a Bdellium Tools 776. And I'm going to mix 2 different colors from this palette. I'm going to take this Radiant Orchid color right here, and I'm going to mix it with this blush that's right in the center. So we're just gonna take a little combination of both of those colors. And the reason I'm combining it is because the hot pink on its own is really hot pink, but then the Radiant Orchid is a little too dark. So I'm gonna take a good combination on your brush, and then you kick off the excess. And I'm going to put that into my crease. As as a transition shade, which is very different from what I normally do, but I thought it would make more of a fun look, something a little bit more different, something out of the norm. It is the holidays after all. So this brush is a fluffy blending brush, but if you turn it, it has a little bit of a flatter side. So you see how it's like flat like that and then wide? So if you take it on the flat side into the crease like that, the product won't go as high up. And you want to have control over this color because it's a pretty intense color. Now what we're going to do is take a flat shader brush like this one, and we're going to dip it into this beautiful emerald green shade right here. When I got this palette, I was like, yes, that is the color. That's the one color that I want to concentrate on. I don't care what look I do, that's the one color I'm going to use. And you're going to pack that all over the lid from corner to corner. But because we're going to lighten the inner corner, you don't have to necessarily put so much into the inner corner. So I'm going to pack it more over on this side and then a little bit lighter on the inner corner. So we have the pink and the Radiant Orchid, the emerald, and then we're going to take another shader brush like this one, and we're going to dip it into this really beautiful peachy champagne color right here, and that's going to go on the innermost part of our lid. So take a little bit on your brush, and you're going to start on the inner corner, and then you kind of mix it with the green. So it creates almost like a beautiful gold gradient with that emerald shade. And if you notice it's not blending really well, just kind of overlap it a little bit like that. And then you can go back with your green brush and bring that on top of the gold again until you achieve your desired mixture, cocktail, or combination. And you can see how well these colors play together. When I saw the palette at first, I was like, what am I gonna do with these colors? But they work really, really well together. Now what we're going to do is take a pencil brush like this one from EcoTools, and I'm going to dip it into this really beautiful purple shade right here. And just, the littlest bit. And you're going to put it right here, like right in the orbital bone. Exactly where you could feel the roundness of your eyeball, that's exactly where you're going to put it. And that's only so that it looks like our green mixed with the pink. So it's going to create almost like if your colors blended together and created the purple, that's what you want to achieve. Then we're going to go back in with the pink brush and no additional product, and we're going to mix the colors together. You see how the pink on top of the purple makes it look like it's just part of the fun? It doesn't look like an additional color. It just looks like the colors blended together really nicely. Now you want to make sure that your eyes match. If they don't match, just take your brushes, whatever's left on the brush, and kind of combine your eyeshadows. I'm just building the green a little bit here so that it doesn't look like it got too blended out. Then I'm going to take a little bit more of that peachy color, apply that to the inner corner. So now that our eyes match, we can move on to the next step. And the next step is to take the green brush, take a little bit more green shadow, and we're going to apply that to the lower lash line. And you have to be really careful because you don't want to bring it down too low. And then take the gold or the peachy brush and run that on the innermost part of your lower lash line. And overlap the colors. Always overlap the colors so that it looks blended, so it looks like it got blended well together. Now we're going to take the liquid liner that comes in this set. This is a felt tip liquid liner that looks like that. And we're going to do a line just like this one. Since it's a holiday look, you can be dramatic, but you could also just do a really fine line where your lashes begin, and that'll just give your lashes depth. They'll look fuller, blacker, like you have more lashes than you actually do. If you're not comfortable, doing wing liner, or you don't prefer the cat eye, you could just forego it altogether and just do a thin black line. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply a really thin layer of mascara to my top and bottom lashes, and that's just going to give me a really nice stepping stool or like a step so that my false lashes have something to hold on to. So just take whatever mascara you want, it doesn't have to be anything special, and do a thin layer of mascara. So you guys can tell how little mascara I actually put on, but that's only to give my lashes something to stick to. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my Loreal Silkissime eyeliner and I'm going to tightline and waterline. And this is a super important step for me. I personally do not do a single look without applying some sort of liner to my waterline and my tightline. We're going to go into our lash case and we're going to take our favorite pair of eyelashes. Whatever one you feel is festive enough for your holiday party. I'm using VOILA LASH from Esqido, and you can see the glue on there. My favorite glue to use, you guys know I swear by, is the Revlon Precision Lash Adhesive. It makes applying lashes so much easier, and your lashes are not going to go anywhere. I mean, if you get proposed to and cry for 3 hours during your holiday party, they are not falling off. So take your favorite pair of lashes and apply them to the base of your lashes, never your eyelid. That is a really common mistake that I see, is putting your eyelashes on your actual eyelid. And so when you blink or you close your eyes, you can tell like, oh wow, that poor girl doesn't know how to wear falsies. So make sure that you always stick them on to the root of your lashes or even on the base of your lashes, on your actual lashes, but don't rip them off at the end of the night or you'll rip off your own lashes. So that completes the eye look. If you guys can tell, I'm wearing a really light blush. And the blush that I decided to use out of the same palette is the peach one right here. It does have 3 different colors. This is almost like a berry mauve. Then there's this really hot pink that we used as the eyeshadow. And then the peachy color that I'm wearing right now. I opted to go for the peach one because if used light enough, it doesn't look peach. It just looks like a really, almost just like a tiny little wash of color, like, oh, I wonder what she's wearing. It just gives you that really healthy glow on your cheeks. So just take a blush brush or whatever, and you know how I feel about blush. You can never have enough blush. So apply that to the apples of your cheeks, up towards your temple. And then you know how I feel about my highlight. Every look for me has to have a highlight, even if I'm going to buy milk. No, I'm just kidding. But there's this really beautiful gold shade in this palette that will do the trick as a very subtle highlight. So I'm going to apply that to the tops of my cheekbones, the tip of my nose. You know how I love to highlight the tip of my nose, my chin, and the center of my forehead. So you see how it just gives me that like healthy glow, but not like, whoa, what kind of highlighter is she wearing? So it just gives you that really beautiful healthy glow. So what I decided to do as well is just do a really neutral lip. I'm wearing a neutral, I'll list it in the description box below, but I'm wearing a kind of like a neutral nudie peach lipstick, and then I topped it with an opal lip gloss. And I wanted to go with the opal so that it won't look as nude, it'll look more just like a really reflective pinky nude lip color. Since our eyes are already kind of rare, you know, we don't want to take too much away from the eyes already. So that completes the look. I really hope you guys liked it. Super easy, right? You guys know my line when I do a tutorial. My tutorials are always easy, and the way that I make them even easier is by listing all the products in the description box below. So I'm going to include a list of all the products and tools that I use to do this tutorial in the description box below in case you have a question. And of course, if you're interested in getting your own dark rose palette, I will also leave that link in the description box below. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know the holidays are around the corner and everyone's going to be showing you how to do a smoky eye, which I'm also going to teach you how to do in a couple of weeks. I also thought that because we have a lot of holidays around the corner that it might be fun to do something a little different. You know, everyone's going to be doing the smoky eye. Maybe you could do something a little bit more fun and playful. It is a time for celebration with our friends and loved ones, so we might as well do a really fun, playful, sexy, sassy look to show at our beautiful holiday party. So I really hope you guys liked it. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, as well as any upcoming tutorials that you're interested in seeing. And as always, if you guys found this video useful, entertaining, or learned something, please give me a thumbs up or subscribe if you haven't already. And until next time, this coffee break is over. Bye guys!